All right, so I'm gonna go over the wiring harness. So I'm just gonna follow the instructions that the guy who made the harness supplied. So he labeled two of these. So one is T and one is E. So T will go into the temperature tube. So this tube. So T goes in there, and then E will go in, where did it go? E will go in the existing temperature sensor, and I'm going to route the wires later. I just want to do a function test to make sure everything works. So this is the temperature sensor, so E goes there, and then T goes here into this temperature sensor. So, I mean, you could literally just take this off like completely, and then you can just plug it in just for the sake of testing it, and then you can just put it back up in there. So yeah. And then next is the other wires. So you'll just sort through these one by one. I believe this one goes here. So there's the servo right here, and then the connectors on the top of it. So it's up here. So this one will be in the same branch as the other two connectors. So that one will go up in here. There's the connector right here on the driver's side servo. All right, so I'm at the engine bay part of testing the connector out. So this is what you're going to be doing. He wrote in the instructions the 4-pin connector. It's the A7 pin connector, and it goes to the pressure sensor switch on the AC line. In the instructions, he wrote it was near the alternator, and alternator's over there, AC condenser's over here. I'm thinking that was a mistake, because I was looking for this thing for, I feel like, an hour. I'm like, where the fuck is it? And he said it was on one of the AC lines, and I didn't even see this here until I really followed the high pressure AC line all the way around. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna de-pin the black and yellow pin, which is pin 1, and it's gonna have a female pin slot on it. What you're going to then do is you're going to insert the male pin into that empty female pin, and then you're going to insert this female pin back into the connector. Then you're going to run this whole thing through the firewall, and then I'll figure out where it goes to afterwards later on. But this is going to go through the firewall, and then I don't know what step is next. All right, so that pin connector was a little annoying to de-pin, but I was able to get it done. So first what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna remove this connector. So it's like inside of it, and then these two clips go on the outside. So it'll be, sitting in there. It'll be sitting in there like that, and you just have to lift up those clips and push this out. After that, you don't have to remove the seal in there, I found out. I just wasn't sure. So after that, you're gonna remove this piece. So this piece goes in the middle. So it goes in the middle like that. You're gonna remove that. And then after that, you can see there are like little tiny white clips on the inside of there. I'll try and point at them with a pick. So there's little tiny white clips in there. This one right here that the pick is touching, you'll push that back, and then you should just be able to pull the pin out. This clip right here. So you'll push that back and you should just be able to pull the pin out. So after that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your connector, and one side is a male and one side is a female. So he said to insert, this one like that, the male into the female one from this connector originally. So you're gonna insert it like that, and then you're gonna put the heat shrink and the tape over it and then seal it. Then this one, you're going to reinsert in here into the connector, and then you're just gonna put everything back together. Then after that, you're gonna run this wire through the firewall, and I don't know where this goes next, but that's a problem for me to figure out. All right, so that wire, once you run it through the firewall, I don't know where I'm gonna run it through yet because I'm just still testing it. It's going to connect to the connector here. So you're just gonna put it in here. He labeled this as the bullet connector. So you're just going to put it in there, and then you're supposed to put the heat shrink over it and then heat shrink it. I'm probably going to solder it just to make sure. Same with the inside in there. I'm going to solder it. And then also after heat shrink it, I'm going to put some electrical tape around it just to be double safe, because you really want this to be waterproof. So these connectors right here, this one and this one is going to go to the actual unit itself, like the climate control unit. But now I'm going to figure out where the rest of these wires go, and I can make a safe bet and assume that the rest of these wires are going to be going on the passenger side, because of where this piece is right here. This piece right here is going to go on the passenger side over here, where the resistor and relay and all that stuff is. That's going to go over there. I just need to figure out where the rest of these are going to go, and I think one of these goes into over here, and then I think this, I don't know. This I think connects into the piece over here. I'll show it. It should connect into this right here. Oh my God, I can't. Right here. So that's where this one should go. I don't know where this piece goes. I think it goes into the old connector that went there, which I don't even know where that is. I think that's this one. So I reckon this will connect here, and then this will connect here, or vice versa. And then I think this connected like that. So that should be the same. And then you could reroute this, or just run this wire back up. I think this green connector that you see up here, I think that one stays in the same place. This one, I think it goes to this servo. I'll figure that out as I go though. It doesn't look like there's any extra wires so far, but I'll find that out. So yeah, I'm gonna try and figure out the next steps. All right, so the next connector you're gonna do is this one. They refer to this as the 8-pin connector. So it's going to go into this connector right here. Right now, it's basically just match what fits. It's very hard to do with one hand. And then next is going to be this connector. So this one is referred to as the 6-pin connector. There's 4 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and that's going to go in this one, which he refers to as the options connector. Oh my God, it's hard to do with one hand. But yeah. Yep, there we go. And that's basically all your ground wires, and I think maybe the power wire. After that, there's not a whole lot left. So I have 2 right here. So a green one, and then this white one. And then I have this white one, which is going to go in the back of the actual unit itself. And then I have this one, which also is going to go in the back of the unit itself. Then I have these wires down here, which I'll figure out where those go. All right, so what you're gonna do next is this wire. It's a 5-pin connector. It's going to go into this servo motor right here. Everything's all just stuck right now. And he referred to this as the damper. So that goes in there. And then he also noted that it has a metal bracket. After that, you're going to be doing the resistor plug. So that'll go right here. There's the resistor. Then after that, he says you're going to be doing the relay connector. So you're going to take this blue relay off, and then you're going to sandwich this in between the blue relay and this connector. So next, this is what I did, by the way, is I sandwiched these two. Next is this connector right here. So all you're going to do is you're going to plug this one into this connector, and then once you plug it in, oh my God, it's hard to do one-handed. Once you plug it in here, there we go, you're going to then plug this wire into this servo right here. And then after that, you just have this one last connector, which is going to go right here. And as you can see, he wrote a P on it for passenger. So it's just gonna go in there. Then after that, you just have to reconnect all the wires. So this wire here, and this wire here. He didn't annotate that on the steps because it's assumed that you never took this stuff apart like I did, because, you know, I'm doing it a little different. This went to the bottom of here somewhere. Somehow I was able to find it without even looking at it, but it goes right there. So after that, that should be your fan control. After that, you're just going to plug in the unit itself, the actual display screen and control unit. So I'm gonna just grab that real quick. So this, and he also said to try and keep the clock that's on it. So don't swap over the clock top on the piece, or piece on the top, because this one is red and the stock one is orange. But after that, all you're gonna do is connect the wires. You know, so this one on here. All right, got a click, and then this one on the back here. All right, there we go. And then you should connect, I forget which wire it is. I think it's this one right here. Sorry, it's hard to see. It's very hard to do this all one-handed. And then connect that in there. And then everything should work now. I don't know what these extra connectors go to. I think they might have been part of the old system. I can't remember. They might be part of my head unit. But I think my head unit wires are down here. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna start it up and see if everything works. All right, final thing before you actually run your car, just make sure you top off your coolant. So I'm gonna do that. I just so happen to have some coolant lying around. You gotta make sure you get the right one. This is apparently the right one. The reason why the right coolant matters is because engines are made of different materials, and the coolant itself could have stuff in it that might react to the different materials inside your engine block. So these being aluminum, apparently certain coolants might react with aluminum differently, and you might get other kinds of issues like scaling and rusting or whatever sort of reactions and stuff you'll get. So I'm going to top off the cooling system, and then I'm going to give it a run for its money and see if it works. All right, so it's time to see if it works. So first, I'm just gonna do it with the car off. All right, let's see. So passenger airbag off. Okay, so does the off button work? I don't know if the car has to be running. Oh, looks like it works. Okay, I can hear the servo working. I can hear it moving. So I can turn off, where's sync? I think it's auto. I don't know how you turn off the synchronization. It sounds like it works. Oh yeah, okay, it's dual. That's which one you switch. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is, I'm guessing I'm going to fully set both sides to high and low and see if the doors will retract all the way. So there should be the doors, the connector, or the servo, I mean. There's the one right there, which that's the only one that I should have an issue with, because that's the only one that I removed. Other than that, they should all be in their set position. So there's the two on that side, and then there's this one. The only one that I should really have an issue with is this one over here, because that one I had to take off to repair the hole that was in the piece that I had in the back. So I don't know which one controls that, if it's the driver's side one or if it's the passenger side one. But I can hear it working, and then I'll see if this one works. I don't hear these ones moving. So I'm gonna just mess around with it and see if it works. I thought they were supposed to be red. This is orange. I'm a little disappointed. I don't know if there's a way to change the color of this, because it's kind of gross. So I'm gonna try the rear defroster and then see if I could turn it off. All right, turning it off works. So how do I turn it on? Okay, that's how you turn it on. Okay, so this should be the top ones. And then this should be the feet ones. I don't know where the air comes out for the feet ones. Doesn't feel like it's switching though. And defroster. It does not feel like anything is switching when I'm pressing these. So I think one of the servos or connectors might be off. Oh no, I can see it moving. Okay. It just takes a second. Okay, so this is both. So that's the feet one. So when I have it set to foot mode, something should move. I don't know how long it takes to move. I'm not seeing anything move at all. And that's not moving. The blower's still going. Alright. This might be a little bit of troubleshooting. Let's see, this is the defroster and the feet. Okay, so that's switching. So now it's switching to the defroster and the feet. So I'm guessing, I don't know where that pipes to. I don't feel anything coming out here. It comes up here. So this should go to the vents on the top. Yeah, I feel like I might have to troubleshoot a little bit. Okay, that opened. So now, oh, maybe I have to switch the rear one up? No, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. All right, so I adjusted the servo on this side. So all I did was I undid the 2 screws. There's one here and then there's one on the back. And then I set this all the way to the lowest setting. I paid attention to what way this wheel spins, like this gear right here spins. And once it maxed out at the lowest setting, I just spun that in the same direction and then I just put it back together. And it was clicking before. So now when I do it all the way, when I go all the way from low to high, it doesn't click at all. So that's all the way on high, and then this is going to be all the way on low. So it doesn't click anymore because it's actually set right. So why it was clicking is because it was trying to push it further than it actually is able to, and it was pushing against the teeth on the gears basically. But everything should be good now. I just still need to do some final checks to verify. So the passenger side one is located right there. That bottom one. Here, I'll just try and show it. So right there, I'm gonna change the speed or the temperature. So that's all the way on high. And then this is all the way on low. Yep, works. Doesn't bind or click or anything. All right, so this one is the air circulation. So that's what controls this one. So you switch that, and then this will go up, and then you switch it off, and it'll go down. But I think the rear defrost also affected that. It seemed like before. So I'm gonna press the rear defrost, see if anything happens. No, okay, it must have just been a coincidence. All right, so the last one is going to be the mode select. So it is working now. I just had to unplug it and plug it back in. I don't know why it wasn't working, but now it's working. So that's gonna be this one on the top here. So when I press the button, it'll spin and that'll shut off one of the vents. The big rudder in the back, it'll switch that one off. And you just wanna press all the different modes and see that it actually rotates through them. It just suddenly stopped working. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't want to do anything now. Okay, so I think I troubleshooted what the issue was. So it seemed like 2 of these pins were somehow jumping contact between each other, and I think that was because the little retaining clip, I think, was forcing them to move over or something. The retaining clip was really hard to pop open, and when I popped it open, one side popped up completely. This clip isn't even supposed to come out, and it came out because the one side completely just popped open instead of lifting up the way that it was supposed to, and it was like super stuck. So I think one of the pins was stuck or something. So I think I fixed it just by taking this off, and then I tried ohming it out. And when I ohmed it out before I took this off, I was getting an ohm reading between the center pin and one of the side pins. I can't remember which one it was. I was getting 0 ohms. Even when I had it disconnected, I was getting 0 ohms. Now I'm getting like 50 ohms, which implies that it's going through more than just directly pin to pin. And that was causing the motor not to work. I have a second motor. I just so happen to have this because I was going to do it a different way. And then I just used this as a test to figure out if it was the motor or not. And I found out it was the wiring itself. And I think just those 2 pins were just crossing. But I'm going to try and ohm them out again and see if it works now. Okay, I can confirm that is the issue, and it is fixed now. So now you can see I have 100 ohms right now, which then implies it is going through the entire circuit or whatever until it gets back to here. So it's probably going through ground or something as well by the time it returns. So what I did is I have a little depinning tool, and then I have a wire that I just wrapped around and took some strands off, and I'm just putting them in the pinholes so that way I can test for ohms. And yeah, that seemed to work. And then all I did was I just put the pin connector back in, and now I'm gonna see if everything works. And then after that, all I have to do is put everything back together, route the wiring harness, and see where I'm gonna route it to. Because right now I just have it temporarily where it is, just for testing purposes. But after that, I'm gonna remount everything. So this should mount right back up in here like that. So that'll mount right there. I don't remember if it went upside down. It might have. Yeah, it might go like this, upside down. I don't know. It's gonna go somewhere there. And then these clips go back together, and then this clips somewhere. Oh, I think this clips right here. And then this, I don't remember where it clips. I think it's around here, like somewhere over here. It gets this one right here. And then this big one clips up here. And then I don't know where that's gonna go. And then these I'm probably gonna be routing the same way. I'm probably gonna tape it to these like this, tape it to that, and then route it behind this bar right here, behind this bar, and then it's gonna lead back in there. Then this I'm just gonna route behind the bar as well. Then this is also gonna go behind the bar. Then that should do the driver or the passenger side. After that, this wire I don't even have to do anything with because, I mean, it's already behind where it needs to be. Then the driver's side, I still need to run that wire through the firewall. I'm probably going to run it through. There's a little access port. I don't know if you can see that white wire in the back there. There's a hole right there that you can run it through. There's like a little grommet, so I'm probably going to run it through there and then run it underneath everything and then back to the panel itself or however. And I still need to heat shrink everything as well. And then the driver's side, I'm gonna run these wires underneath and through behind this metal piece. Then that should be everything. It'll be pretty easy. All right, I ran my wire through. So as you can see, like right underneath the clutch fluid reservoir, you could see my white wire and where it's running to. And that's where I also have the other wire running to. It's hard to find a good angle for it. But yeah, you can see the corrugated cable right there with the white wire. So that's going through, and then that goes behind one of the pedals. I don't remember which one. But it goes behind the pedal down here. I think it's the gas pedal it goes behind. And then I routed it underneath, and then it comes right through here. So all the other wires, I routed them behind this metal piece, and then I routed them up. I taped the one to the temperature sensor thing, so you can see them right there, and I just taped them together so that way they're not just dangling freely. The OBD port is dangling freely because that's just how it's gonna be for a little bit. I'm about to put in the dashboard, but I just wanted to do a little update just so you can see how I actually ran everything. Because I feel like that's one of the part of the things that you don't really get to see often. And then on the passenger side, it's a little messy. I ran them behind the metal and then behind here. So the green one goes there, that one goes up, and then these ones go all around. So you can see I kind of weaved them in between that one. And then this one's triple stacked snowman, whatever the fuck going on here. And then, yeah, I routed them all around, just tied them up. So the last thing that you want to do is you want to just verify how many bolts and stuff you have. I did end up finding the fourth one of these. It was just on the floor, on the seat or something. So I have a handful of bolts, and I'm going to point out where each bolt goes. So first of all, you have these black ones. These black ones are going to go to the upper part of your dashboard. So right there, that bolt hole. And that's behind the speakers. So you just want to count them. You'll have these two that have the Phillips heads on them. So there's two of them. I don't know where the other one is. It's somewhere in here. There's one. And then here's the other one. Oh my God. Okay, these two. So those two are going to go to your center console, like the part back here. I think it's right, these two bolts. So that's that. You'll have 4 for the head unit. So the 4 for the head unit are just going to be like these 4. I don't know if there's a size difference in all of them. And then you'll have the rest of these. So 2 of them are going to go to your passenger airbag right there. And then the rest of the 4 are going to go to your speakers up here, the big ones. So there's going to be 2 screws or 2 bolts on each side. So that should account for all of the bolts that you have. Now all the screws, I can't tell you the same though. I can tell you that these little black ones go to the steering column cover. So yeah. I don't know about the rest of these. It's just basically going to be searching for an empty hole and try to put them in it. And I don't know where this nut came from either. All right, so on reassembly, the little temperature sensor, there's actually a slot that it goes into on the back of this. So before you get too crazy with it, there's a little spot that it goes inside of, which you can feel it. So I believe there's like the part with the little 2-prong things on the top of it. I think that faces up. And then you could see there's this little tiny vent. So that's where it's behind. So you just have to make sure you rotate it and then stick it in there. And it should click once you get it in there. All right, so the very last step of what you're going to do is you're going to top off the coolant, which I already did. One trick that I did is I would squeeze this tube with the radiator cap on, and then while I'm squeezing this tube, I would undo this, and then I could see air bubbles coming out of it. Then once I see coolant start coming out of it, I tighten that while maintaining whatever I'm squeezed on this, and then I would close that. And then when that's closed, you'll release this, and you'll take the radiator cap off, and then it should suck out whatever air to here, because it'll like create a suction when you let go. When you let go of here, it'll pull whatever air basically, and then you can just top it off again, and then top off your reservoir as well. Then you're going to want to refill your AC system. So I'm not responsible for if this gets messed up, just putting that out there. But there's your low pressure line. So you're going to turn your car off. You're going to hook up your bottle, AC bottle. I got it from AutoZone. It's like 40 bucks or something, AC Pro. And then, you know, it has the thing on the top of it, so it tells you what your pressure is. Mine's 39 apparently right now. Then once you hook it up, you're going to turn your car on. You're going to set it to max blast AC. And then you're going to periodically like turn the bottle like upside down. So you're going to like hold the trigger, and then you're going to go like this. And you want to do that until the bottle's like empty basically. Because if your AC was drained properly, it should have no Freon or anything in it. And you'll feel the bottle get lighter and lighter and lighter. and then eventually you'll feel nothing sloshing around in it, so that should indicate that you used up all of what's in the can. And while you're doing that as well, you should see your compressor wheel kick on. So this clutch in the middle should start spinning as well, and mine does, so that implies that everything is working correctly, because this wire that we tapped in is for the pressure sensor, and if it detects there's no pressure, it won't kick on your clutch. But yeah, I hope the video is helpful, and you know, I wish anyone luck who's trying to do this retrofit as well. It is quite interesting. But yeah, everything works, and you know, it's all good. So yeah.